I have an interesting story. So this is interesting. So I'm gonna just put out straight away. The TV show RuPaul's Drag Race is an amazing show. I don't care what you think. It's amazing. Okay? You want to see talented men do a difficult thing and do it well at an elite level? That's the show. Okay? Along with the NFL. I am at a double date with my girlfriend. This is years ago. At a double date with my girlfriend, and there's another couple on the other end, and we're all friends, and my girlfriend and the other girl start talking about RuPaul's Drag Race, okay? And I had to choose, this is me thinking about the future now, right? I had to choose whether I could, engage in that conversation, in the way that I would comfortably, someone who knows that show, who's watched several seasons because it's a dope show. And instead of doing that, I noticed that the dude's here, and I started to have a conversation with him about football. It's like, just to accept that, to notice that was the difficulty, and to accept it and to say, and to ask myself, what does it mean that I did that? I chose to perform a kind of masculinity to this person, as opposed to choosing to perform a genuine truth, to have a conversation, to engage and to talk about whatever. It took me a while to notice that and to just accept it and say, well, what are the reasons for that? Well, I didn't want to engage in a whole conversation, you know what I'm saying, about to assert my straight cisgender masculinity in another way. Be like, well, blah, blah, have to do a whole thing. Or do I just avoid it and have a conversation about football? I think that's such a weird little story that you can kick that out of my brain. I did. That's just an event. It's a random event. But I think things like that are great tells, So sometimes when I say shit like, paying attention, I mean stuff like that, to notice these subtle choices. It tells me, what am I trying to be comfortable in? What's comfortable for me? And why, and to just own it. So that's a weird story that randomly came out. Yeah, there is many layers in that, you know what I mean? To think about who I think I'm trying to perform, what to think, these assumptions in the room. I think a lot of dudes can attest to this. Maybe not directly with RuPaul's Drag Race, but with these kinds of these different demographics and how we show up. But what would make it, another way to make that story way better was if I was who I am now, who has done the work really to really kind of be comfortable in myself, to know that I can perform a nuanced version of this, right? I'm a masculine man, black man in America, and I don't need to fit in a specific pole. I can be comfortable in myself. So a lot of the anxiety that existed at that moment that caused me to kind of not engage in a conversation is me limiting myself,